Let me just grab a water.
Let's see if it works. I'm testing out the thing.
Streaming live on YouTube. Hey.
It says we're streaming live on YouTube. I don't actually know if we're live on YouTube yet.
This is a test. We're the Sports Hangover. If you just found us,
I'm redirecting to YouTube right now. Oh.
We're on Popline Media. Go to popline.co. We'll give you free shit if you go to popline.co. Free stuff.
Live on TSH. Nice. All right, hold on. Let me double check that it's actually working. I think it's actually working. All right.
We're still live.
We're still live. I'm just double checking that it's not on Dope Dog. It's on actual Sports Hangover. Nice. It's actually on the Sports Hangover. All right, we're live.
All right, you just want to record the show now?
Yeah, we can record the show now. Hold on. Should I send it to the group when
I'm not going to reveal to you until the people can hear your reaction too.
Where's my text? I don't know where my texting is on my computer here. Hold on.
A lot of build up for this that I'm uncomfortable with. I never asked for this attention.
Kind of sounded like you asked for the attention. You were really, really excited, like ready, tune in, here we go.
I didn't bring it up on the thread. Someone else brought it up. Maybe one of our listeners, Bob, did.
Did Bob bring it up? Did you plant Bob?
You think out of the blue, I was like, hey, guys, look at me? No.
That's what I honestly, that's what I thought.
No, I don't want the attention. I'm not proud to have poor hair follicles.
Jeremy, you literally said big reveal on the pod tomorrow. J-Dog, did you actually shave your head? Okay, so this is all you.
See, I didn't bring it up though.
You said something. You said something to trigger it. Oh, Bob asked if you shaved, and you said actually yes. All right, so there we go.
Actually, yes. Live. That's very humble. That was a humble response to the thread.
Well, what do you have before we actually record the pod? It's live, but we're
live on YouTube. We haven't. Just so you know, we host a podcast. I'm J-Dog. That's Mike. If you're watching live, this would be funny if you are. I
still need to know what you have.
I have several things. I have food news. I have a new report on the sports business. I have a J-Dog takes on. Do we have a hangover hotline? I was told a female was going to call in.
I have no hangover hotline.
Look, she is such a bitch. I have 2020 NFL draft winners and losers and my buy and sell segment.
I have like some headlines. I have a bullshit or believe. I have some food news, stuff like that. Nothing wild. Do you want to start? I mean, it's a big day. We're here for you.
Yes, it is a Sports Hangover. I'm J-Dog. That's Mike. And this is a special show for many reasons, including we are streaming live on YouTube.
We're excited. I mean, this is, everybody's ready for Zoom. We finally mastered Zoom. We're streaming live on YouTube through Zoom. But today's special because you announced to our group thread that you finally shaved your head. Now, for, just a few years, you've progressively lost a little bit of hair.
A lot of years. We started the podcast in 2011, and I was taking showers with hair falling out in 2011.
I have a picture on my wall over here of me and you recording podcasts, I think in my old basement, and you had a full head of hair. And I think that was like 2013, 14. Now I'm excited to see. I haven't even seen it. Jeremy said, I'm not showing it to you. You said you wouldn't show it to me until we're live recording the podcast.
I wanted your reaction for real. And now the YouTube element is a whole different deal. So I'm going to show you, and we're just going to open it up.
You're show me right now.
Yeah. What else am I going to show you?
Yeah. I thought you were going to tease it for a little while.
Should we tease? Is that going to help our YouTube ratings? No, wait. Should we just go through the show a little?
No. Let's see. Let's see the hair.
And then do I do the rest of the show bald, or do I put the hat?
100%. You take that hat off. I'll take my hat off too if you want. But it's just a mess.
I'm kind of nervous. Is that normal? I'm nervous now.
It's no. It's like we're streaming. Let's see it.
Okay. The big reveal. Okay. Something I've been thinking about doing for a long time. Okay. And the pandemic was a great time for it. This is great audio for the folks listening. Great radio, as we like to say.
Yeah. Well, they'll have to tune in to, they can follow us on Instagram at popline.co, or they can go on our YouTube at the Sports Hangover and see this glorious video.
I can tell you're excited too.
I'm so excited. I don't think I've been this excited for a while to do the podcast. I was telling Aaron today, I was like, Jeremy's gonna reveal his shaved head today.
All right, I'm nervous. Here we go. You ready? Count me down. All right, count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Oh! He's laughing. Oh no. This is it.
It's not that bad. You have a good shaped head.
I've been hearing a lot of that, Mike, and I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, good shaped head. Can I get a side view? It's pretty good. You have a good shaped head. You kind of yeah, I mean, it's good look. Damn, you really were going. I didn't realize how much hair you had up front. You pushed up there.
Yeah, wait, are you saying retroactively I was balder than you thought before?
I thought you had more hair than what you actually had.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. I've been fooling folks for years. So this was actually 6 days ago, Mike. It was a lot shorter 6 days ago. I'm actually surprised how much it's grown. I'm getting the fuzzies on top. And so now I have to find this place, right? I think a lot of folks find it. Ryan Russillo keeps a little scruff on top. No, I don't want to shave it completely. I'd be a bloody, gory mess if I didn't have anything. So I like a little fuzz, but I feel like I need to find the right growth level.
Now, are you gonna what did you feel after you shaved it? Because I think that's the moment where, I know this is not great radio for most people. Just imagine a Jewish bald man.
Listen, I think it's better than most other sports topics right now. I was scared. It's something I've been thinking about for years. And I was like, I'm going to look terrible. I'm going to look sick. I always thought I was going to look sick, like a cancer patient. I think I've told you that before. And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but like, I'm not like a super bulky guy. And I could see people thinking I'm like sick, but I don't think I look sick. I think I look,
it's also the beard. You started growing in a beard during the pandemic, and the beard definitely helps. Now, I think if the beard was gone and the hair was gone, we might question, like, did Jeremy
you'd send a card, the pandemic?
Right? Yeah. I'd be like,
the beard is a big deal. You know, I told some folks I'm redoing the whole thing. So I'm bald, but I have a beard and I have bifocals and I'm working on my biceps. So I've got the 4 B's are a key to what's going on here.
Okay.
Just a little preview with the glasses. I felt like when I shaved it, to answer your question though, I felt like I was in control of my hair for the first time in a long time.
I like that. So you felt empowered after you shaved your head. You're just like, I finally get it. I'm ready.
Yeah. And folks get this, like, when there's a lot of people listening with bad hair, a lot of our listeners, I'm sure, I know a few of them that we're friends with, right? They have bad hair. It sucks because it's like, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything to cause this. It's fucking genetics. It's your fucking grandfather on your mother's side. If I could talk to that man right now, I would. Haven't seen him in a few decades, right? So it's not up to us. It's a personal battle that we have to go through, but we didn't cause it ourselves. So once you take control of the situation, like I did, I feel fucking great, Mike.
You must have been hyped up. I can imagine like really loud music on. Now, did you shave all of it at once, or was it like a slow progression to shaving it?
It's a good question. So I just have a beard trimmer with different levels, different sizes for length. And I started with the longest one, and obviously a lot came off, but then I kept going and going. And it's funny, I got down to a number 2 and I was trying to go a 1. I was trying to do 1 on the sides and the back. Oh, there's my phone. And then a 2.
People are calling.
I was trying to get myself, they already are. And so I was trying to get myself a fade. And then I realized it was like a squiggly line in the back with the fade. So during a pandemic, giving myself my own haircut, you can't give yourself your own fade. That's not real possible right now.
So you feel good now. You're ready to take on the world. You finally feel in control. It looks good. I mean, listen, I wear hats all the time. I could be bald for all you know too. So it's a good look. Yeah, it looks good. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought your head was going to be a lot bigger. So congrats.
That feels really good. Rate my bald, Mike. 1 to 10. Rate my bald.
Well, you still have a little hair on top. So, and it's also, you have to get used to it. Like if I shaved my beard, you might be like, damn, what just happened to you? I think I got to rate your baldness next week when it's not as much of a shock to me.
You're not as ready. It's shocking right now, right?
Yes, I was very shocked to see your bald head.
You were, even though you knew it was coming.
I couldn't expect like what your head looked like. Did you have like a weird dip I didn't know about in your forehead? You know, some people have those like weird lumps in their head. You didn't have
And you
any of
don't
it.
really know, like, do you know if you have a lump? I didn't know if I had a
I don't
lump. I
know.
didn't know till I got rid of it all. And there were two big compliments I got. I started showing some friends last weekend after I did it in person. And the one was I didn't have any clumps of hair. Like I was worried I was gonna have like a big patch of hair I couldn't get to because like you don't really know what's going on
Sure.
in this time. And two, like you said, a lot of compliments on the head shape. And that like I didn't know. No one really knew
That's
until
almost a better compliment than saying like you had a good hair day because you know your hair never looked like was that good in the last few months. But this
years.
is even better. It's like your head shape is permanent, so it's going to be good forever.
Yeah, I hope so. Barring any injury, it's a permanent head shape.
That's great. All right, let's
Thanks.
get into the
Thanks.
show now. We have
That was
real
fun.
sports to talk about. We spent 25 minutes on Jeremy's hair, but it looks good, Jeremy. So you're back.
Thanks, Mike. I'm back. I'm back and better than ever.
You're back better than ever. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start for like some light stuff, like
Let's
Jay
stay
Cutler
outside of
got
sports for
bored?
now. We'll get to sports. I have a theory. I read this article, so it's
Okay.
not mine, but I love it and I want to push for it. Can we do some food news?
Oh wow, food news right away.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta
early
find
on.
it. There.
Here's what I found. Here's some news for food news.
Can our YouTube listeners hear the drops as well?
Of course they can. Of course, everything is
This
plugged
is
in.
good content for them. We're just giving this away for free. It should be subscription
Free
service.
content, yeah.
So food news. Listen, America's starting to reopen. Here in Florida, where I am, on Monday, you can go into a restaurant, sit down, and have a meal. That's crazy. I'm not going to do it. But what I am a proponent of are outside restaurants. Why don't we start building restaurants where all the seating is outside, including existing restaurants, Mike, where we can eat in the parking lot? We don't need this massive parking lot for shopping centers anymore. No one's going out. Let's take over the parking lot space, put your tables and chairs out there, and let's spread out and be outside this summer and eat outside at restaurants.
What was that one fast food place where you could like park? It's like the 1960s style, and you order from a little box and they roller skate over to you. What was that place called?
Oh, that was what's it called? Not Steak and Shake, the other one.
It's it's
Sonic.
one of those Sonic.
Right? Sonic.
We could all go to that where if I could just sit in my car, get a little tray and eat, I would do that. It's better
Yeah.
than bringing it home.
That's an option. I like the idea of like a tailgate in that situation. Like maybe you have an SUV or a truck and you kind of sit on the back and have a cocktail with it.
I can't believe you guys are opening. It still feels like there's no end in sight out here in California for us going to restaurants or doing anything like that. Supposedly things will start opening slowly, but I had weddings coming up that are canceled this summer now. A lot of things are just
one of my friends was
done.
supposed to get married tomorrow. It's beautiful
Tomorrow.
weather, so I'm gonna bring her a cookie cake that says "At least you're still employed."
But yeah, that's true. That's a big one right now. A lot of unemployed.
A lot of
I also have some food news. I didn't realize that so many people would start drinking more beer. Anheuser-Busch said their beer sales are up 44% since the pandemic.
I believe it, Mike. Anecdotally, my friends are drinking every night, and that was never the case before. And if you want to know how much folks are drinking, take a lap on Recycle Day in your neighborhood. For anyone listening, take a lap and look at all the wine bottles, the beer cans. The amount of alcohol in recycle bins right now has never been higher. So Solid Waste Authority, if you want to invest in something, invest in the recycle companies.
I've kind of gotten used to ordering my groceries, and when you order online, it is very easy just to add multiple bottles of extra wine on top. You're like, oh yeah, whatever. Just like it's very easy to order more, and then you just end up drinking more because it's like, oh, we have so much wine, we have to clear some space so we can put it on the rack. You know, you don't want to leave it out. A lot of wine.
The problem with the beer companies, and wine obviously doesn't have this issue, is they sell so much out of the tap at restaurants and bars, and that's not an option anymore. They're probably not making up for it in bottle and can sales at grocery stores, I would think.
Well, no, that was the problem I read with like eggs and stuff, where a lot of farmers were producing eggs in those giant cartons for, Costco or restaurants and stuff like that, and they don't have the facility to manufacture them into the little cartons that we buy at the grocery store. So they're just getting rid of them because they don't know what to do with all this waste. So it's weird. It's like there's enough food in supply, but the supply chain, it hasn't caught up to redivert 90% of it to the consumers instead of the businesses. So yeah, it is kind of weird. Like what happens to all those kegs? Can I buy them on discount and tap it at my house?
Do you have a kegerator? Our mutual friend had a kegerator. It wasn't the best investment. The beer never tasted quite right?
I remember drinking it a few times. It was always like a novel thing, like, oh, cool, kegerator in the house. But honestly, because you have to drink it quick before it goes bad. Like you got to
Yeah.
have a few days, and you can't keep it in there multiple weeks on tap.
It was good in college, like when you have to fill up all the cups for beer pong and it's like right there. But then you become like 25 and you have a nice beer after work. And it's like, I don't want kegerator beer that's been in there since last Wednesday.
Yeah, you don't want the $3 beer or whatever. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it is kind of weird how all this stuff has just totally changed. But yeah, we're here in the pandemic, so that's all the food news I got. What do you want to do? I mean, there's so much that happened over the draft. We haven't done a show since last Friday, which is the day after the first round
I
of
know.
the
I won
draft.
2 weeks in a row. Last week I got Tua. This week I got Bald and Confidence. It's been 2 huge shows in a row.
What a way to kick off. Is this spring right now? Are we in spring?
It's summer in Florida.
It feels summer. Yeah. What a
Yeah.
way to kick
You're
off.
wearing your Tulum
Well,
shirt, by the way. I like that.
yeah, I figured it was going to be a really nice day out, so I wanted to kind of go a little tropical today. Kind of
For our
feel it
YouTube
out.
folks, Sports Hangover gear is still available
Nice.
on Amazon. Just search the Sports Hangover for cool.
Those
cool
shirts
gear.
are really holding up. That shirt right there is like 4 years old. Still,
It's
that
so
quality.
soft and comfy. It still keeps the collar. Great fit. Great fit.
All right. So what do you want to All right, let's start with Jameis is now a Saint after the draft.
Yeah, I think he's getting paid less than most grocery store checkout folks
Yes.
this year.
I think he's getting paid like $1 million to be there. And I think he thinks there might be an opportunity for him to take over the starting job after Drew Brees retires, which could be a possibility, but Taysom Hill is still there. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It seems like they like 3 quarterbacks.
We can get into Jameis, but who would you bet on if you had to bet either Taysom Hill or Jameis takes over for Brees? Who signed a deal with NBC, by the way?
Who signed the deal?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Oh, yeah. I thought
You
I knew
remember.
that.
You
Did
knew
we talk about this already?
I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but by the way, just for background, Drew Brees signed a new 2-year deal, $60 million at the beginning of this offseason, $30 million a year. But he did sign a deal for the moment he retires to step right into NBC Sports, do Notre Dame college football and the studio show. And there's speculation, the new NFL package, NBC will get a second game that gets Tirico into the booth and it gets Brees into the booth.
Wow. So who will sign there after?
So say Brees goes on after this year. Is it Jameis or Taysom Hill, who, by the way, didn't he get like 16 mil for this year alone?
I feel like Hill might do it because he's been there longer. He knows the playbook. But I guess if you're thinking of like if he can't win out, or why is he not wanted somewhere else? Why doesn't he go somewhere else? I don't think he becomes starting quarterback because he's like that trick guy. He can catch balls, he can run ball, he can throw, he can do it all. So I'd almost keep him signed just to be that guy on the team. And you're never really a quarterback, wide receiver, or whatever. You're just that ultimate player. And I'd rather have you as that position than sign you as a quarterback and just have Jameis maybe sling the ball. And now, I mean, you saw that article where he's like, I couldn't see in front of me. I couldn't see anything. And now he can finally see. So maybe he won't throw 30 picks.
And that's mind-boggling, and that is squarely on the shoulders of Jameis and the Bucs organization for allowing him to have blurry vision downfield for years. Wasn't he there for like 4 or 5 years? Like, how do you let that happen? He had LASIK, and now he said he can see stop signs. He can read the stop sign, and he can read license plates for the first time. Like, maybe as an NFL quarterback, it's worth so much that you should have gotten LASIK 5 years ago.
But you think he was scared to bring it up? Like if you were an employee, which he was, at an organization, and this was basically one of your key assets is to see, and he said, listen, I can't see. They might consider maybe not signing that option deal, and you might not be able to take that time off to go get LASIK. So
yeah, but look where it led him. He's making $1 million instead of $20 million a year.
I'm not saying he's the smartest guy in the world. I'm just saying
accusing Jameis of that. I do think it's interesting. The Saints and Sean Payton, they act like Taysom Hill is such a dude, and they pay him all this money, and they bring him in around the goal line. Like they take Brees out on third down. Sometimes it's crazy. But the fact is, they had Teddy Bridgewater for a few years, and now they bring in Jameis. He doesn't really trust him in case Brees goes down. So it's like, what is the point of this guy if you're going to take Brees off the field on third down? But if he gets hurt, he'll never be our quarterback.
But don't you think that's the point of him? Like he was never going to be. It's like, well, he'll always be our third string, but we know that in a tight situation or some trickery, we can bring him in, and maybe they're trying to develop. This is what the new system will look like, because in college they always have these studs that can run around and do everything. It's like, why not use that skill in the NFL and have that third option quarterback that can do it all. I know they're paying him a shitload of money and maybe they have a salary cap for it, but go for it. If they got the money, I would do the same thing. I would love to have him. Wouldn't you love to have him on your team with Tua right now? Wouldn't he be great?
No, I have no interest in an interception
Yeah.
machine. Speaking of a quarterback who throws a lot of interceptions, Mike,
Yeah.
Jay Cutler and Kristen Cavallari are getting a divorce. And this was a big deal in some circles, not my circle. I understand that there's a show, something Cavallari on one of the
Yeah, it's like
channels.
keeping up. Yeah. It was,
Don't watch
I
it.
never watched much. A lot of the clips online were pretty good. It seems like it was never a good relationship. You could read all the quotes online, like Jay basically just didn't like her at all. And that was his attitude for literally everything in life. So I don't know why this was a surprise. But yeah, now he's divorced. So, and I think he's trying to keep everything because I think he was the breadwinner in the family.
Well, he made a lot of money in the NFL, but she probably made a lot of money from the show, but she may have gotten the show because he was in the NFL. I think it's interesting that that they were stuck. Remember, they were stuck when the pandemic started. When we were in Tulum, we got out. We got out of Mexico. I'm not saying it was a good thing, but we did get out.
Barely got it.
They were stuck in the Bahamas for the first 21 days of quarantine. And they were saying, like, pray for us. I think they were joking, but maybe those 21 days of isolation didn't go well.
At the Baha Mar? Were they?
I don't think they were Baha Mar. They should have been.
Well,
And the Baha Mar is a beautiful place. By the way, we're not doing promo reads for Baha Mar right now. They are closed. I did get notification that they pulled their spending with us, Mike. They've actually pulled it for now. They hope to reinvest in the Popline media once the pandemic's over, but we just don't know.
I have a bullshit or believe. You want to play bullshit or believe?
Is it that Baha Mar really pulled our spending?
No. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe. I hope the YouTube people really appreciate that I have a soundboard right here and I can play drops whenever I need. It's kind of hard for me to see it, but I can hit the buttons. Bullshit or believe, Jeremy. Andy Dalton has been cut. Finally, he finally was cut. I wanted to know, bullshit or believe, is this where he will land? Okay. I have some options for you.
I'm ready.
Bullshit or believe, will he become a Patriot? Because the Patriots right now are on the top of everybody's list. Oh, won't that be funny? Blah, blah, blah. What do you say?
I want to say believe, and I think it will happen, but a little piece of me does believe that Belichick is saying, fuck it with Brady and Gronk choosing to leave, which is a great blog on popline.co right now about the death of the Patriots way. And Belichick has lost his way. Belichick has created a culture where players don't want to be there and they're leaving en masse. That's on popline.co. Check it out. But the idea is that Belichick is pissed. Everyone's leaving. He's going to say, fuck it, tank this year, go 2-14, draft Trevor Lawrence, and then dominate the next 20 years.
Okay, I like it. Bullshit or believe, will Andy Dalton be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer and back up Tom Brady? Because I felt like this was a fun one. Like, oh yeah, Andy Dalton come down there.
It's a good question because their backup is Blaine Gabbert. So you can invest a lot in this team. And then if Brady goes down, which he's like 50 years old, he might. Do you really trust Blaine Gabbert? I like that selection, and it actually might make more sense than New England. So I'll believe.
Hey, go down there, give him like a 1-year contract, just stay with Brady. Yeah. I believe it too.
I like that.
Bullshit or believe, will Andy Dalton be a Ram? This could be a good spot. It seems like they like mediocre quarterbacks and try to make them superstars.
Mike, I like your list. I'm going believe again on the Rams. We know Jared Goff is terrible, and Sean McVay knows he's terrible. This draft was crazy for the Rams. I think he kind of admitted it because he kept drafting skill position players because he knows he needs to help Goff however he can. Bortles is out. Bortles is a free agent. He might not have another job in the NFL. Bortles might be as bald as me, right? So
he actually had a lot of hair. He had a lot of hair on.
No, he's bald.
Bortles
was losing it like I was, early 20s, losing it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny how people lose their hair so early, and like you knew you were gonna be bald.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. It's like ironically funny. Like, oh god,
funny
like,
to other people. Yeah.
Yes, funny to other people. But it's just why it's just weird that it happens. But yeah, go ahead. I don't know. I didn't think he was actually bald because I remember just seeing like a picture of him removing his helmet with a full head of hair.
No,
am I wrong?
Recently, not since
I'm gonna have to look.
You're gonna have to look that up. So the Rams don't have a backup quarterback either, and Goff is bad. Now I can actually see Sean McVay not wanting to bring Andy Dalton in because the truth is, Andy Dalton's better than Jared Goff.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
believe.
All right, I kind of believe that one too. I felt like that might be a really good landing spot because the Rams don't have a lot of money and it might be really cheap to bring them in. I have two more for you. Bullshit or believe, Andy Dalton will be a Los Angeles Charger.
That's bullshit. They love Tyrod Taylor. They love him. I don't know who on earth loves Tyrod Taylor, but they do.
How? Hasn't Tyrod Taylor been on like 25 different teams and like mediocre at best on all of them? I don't know why this would be a spot that Andy couldn't take advantage of. And didn't they draft somebody? Some rookie
Justin Herbert, who
yeah.
He wasn't the guy. I was really glad the Dolphins did not draft him and the Chargers did. So imagine that you're a really bad podcast host, but an owner of a podcast is friends with you and lets you host the podcast.
Wait,
that's Tyrod Taylor.
I was confused by that. Wait, just run me through that again.
All right. You are just hypothetically, you're a bad podcast host. Obviously, you're amazing, but hypothetically, you're terrible. But then your friend in LA is at the Ringer. And your friend hires you to host his podcast because you're friends, not because you're any good, not because you're good, because you're friends. That's Tyrod Taylor and Anthony Lynn, the Chargers head coach. They're friends. And for some reason in the NFL, no matter how big a business it is, the friendships always win. And they're going to start Tyrod Taylor week 1.
That makes sense. Okay. So Chargers, bullshit. One more for you. This is my favorite. Andy Dalton will be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Oh, that cuts deep. It cuts deep because Steeler fans hate Andy Dalton.
They do. They
hate him because he won the division many, many times against them. Luckily, he's 0-8 in the playoffs, so there's that. Luckily, Ben Roethlisberger has a better winning percentage in the playoffs. I can't see him going to Pittsburgh. The hate runs too deep. Now speaking, you answer the question, but I have one more note on Andy Dalton.
I mean, I'm going to say bullshit as well, but I don't see how Big Ben, after sitting out a year and then sitting through a pandemic, which I 100% know this man is not working out at home, is going to be ready for the NFL season. I'll tell you this, I'm more out of shape in these last 6 weeks than I've ever been because there's nothing to do. It's like, why do I even get dressed? I got dressed today to make myself feel better today. Look at this. I'm ready for tropical. I bought a swimming pool on Amazon that's coming this weekend.
Cool.
I'm going to party.
Is it going to be on the roof?
It's going to be on the roof.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'll go live from there. That'll be great. I just wanted to mention, as far as Andy Dalton goes, we have a redhead friend. His name's Blake. He's very redheaded. I just thought maybe some people think he's redheaded. And I just wonder where Blake would think that Andy Dalton would go as another redhead, the red rifle, as some call him.
Well, he can call in to the Hangover hotline at 323-334-0239. Call or text. It's open 24 hours.
Our Canadian friend told me that Blake is a redhead, and that's what I'm going with.
I think Blake's like more of a blondish brown kind of hair, but we can go red. I'm colorblind too, so who knows?
All right, let's stick with the NFL theme. I got some winners and losers from the NFL draft I want to get your thoughts on. So I've got 3 winners and 3 losers. You ready?
Go.
Winner number 1, Baltimore Ravens. They are so good at drafting. It pisses me off. And it's bad news for the Steelers. They got a linebacker from LSU in the first round. He's going to be the next Ray Lewis. He's not going to murder people. He's going to murder running backs. Okay.
I like.
And then they took a running back from Ohio State, J.K. Dobbins, in the second round. They didn't even need a running back. They were the best rushing offense last year, and they got that much better. I love the Ravens draft.
Good for them. It's really hard to follow all these teams. I didn't watch anything after day one. I barely listen to any sports podcast just because almost like one's enough at this point because there's not much.
Yeah. And the one for our listeners is the Sports Hangover. So thank you for choosing the one.
Exactly. And I'm not turning on ESPN and getting all this anecdotes like, oh yeah, like they're going to be really good this year. There's nothing out there for me to digest all of this information. So I'm glad you're giving this to me. I don't know if they're going to be good. I don't even know if they're going to play because there's still signs that these teams might not play. California might not open up any of the stadiums. And we talked about this last week. So I don't know where the mindset of anybody is. I don't know how they're going to train. I don't know how they're going to do anything. It's very
love it, Mike. We do have breaking news.
We have breaking news.
This is big. That's right. Breaking news just in. I have a segment in the show called Buy or Sell, and I had a buy lined up for you folks, Now, we
Sure.
do record after the market, so you won't be able to buy it till Monday morning.
We're
but
live
Monday-
right now on YouTube.
We are live on YouTube. You can do after hours trading still. After hours is still open, folks. Take advantage right now. One of my buys today was CGC, Canopy Growth Corporation. Constellation Brands has just dumped $38 million into CGC. After hours trading is up 7%. We had this on the buy list early today. Before the end of day, we had it on the buy list. And folks, we just had a CNBC report. I'm seeing out of my corner eye. CGC, cannabis use is up. And just like you say, wine and beer sales are up, Mike. What else are we doing? Everyone's smoking weed. Not me, but the
Smoking
rest
that
of them
weed.
are. CGC is a buy. Sorry for the breaking news.
Yeah, where were we going with this? What were we talking about before your breaking news? Now, can you mention to our fans and everybody watching that on the group thread, it seems like you guys are all day trading, and I don't know, should I get into day trading now, because it seems like everybody's losing
Absolutely.
money day trading.
Winning money would be the answer. Now, we did get bad advice from our rich friend, and the rich friend is more equipped to take. I don't know if I can actually
No,
name
say it.
people.
Just say it.
Is this
Call 'em
insider
out.
trading? Who knows? He gave us bad advice
He
on
did.
Amazon. And Jeff Bezos literally took the market with his bare hands this week and pulled the market down because Bezos had a massive first quarter despite all the issues going on in the world. And then Jeff Bezos said, our stock price is too high. We're not doing this for the shareholders.
No.
We're reinvesting all of our
That
profits.
was Tesla. Didn't Tesla say that? Didn't he say our share prices are too high?
Elon Musk is like drunk on Twitter today. So he's having a day on Twitter. That's a different
He's
story.
going wild. He says
But
free America. People are protesting. They want to go out and get sick. I don't know what's going on.
anyway, my yes, you should be day trading. Yes, we can talk more about it here on the podcast. Yes, we should start a financial podcast because our friends love when me and you talk finance.
They certainly do. What is a good app that I can get started on? Can I day trade on my phone, or do I have to do the computer?
No, you can do Fidelity.
yeah.
Fidelity is what I do. A lot of young people, there's an app for it, Mike. A lot of young people are doing Robinhood. Robinhood, you get when you sign up for Robinhood, you get a free stock. What?
I have Robinhood. I have
So
that.
you already day trade.
Yeah, well, I'm not actively trading.
Well, when you sign up, you got a free stock. What'd you get?
All right. Well, maybe I'll start day trading next week, and I'll let you know my reports. What do you got?
We were doing winners and losers of the draft before I got sidetracked here.
we're
I was
not
super
doing
excited. I made some cash during the show, folks. I mean, I'm
Great.
bald and rich, so
Good.
things are
Ballin'.
definitely changing.
You're
Yeah,
bald and balding.
everything's changing. My other winners from the draft, the Arizona Cardinals. Don't forget, they gave up a second-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. That is criminal. Bill O'Brien should have been fired for that. They also took my favorite player in the draft, Isaiah Simmons, linebacker, Clemson. He's going to play all over the field. Look out for the Cardinals to challenge your Seahawks and Niners in the division as soon as this year.
Yeah, Seahawks. They just drafted like one white receiver, and it was a very weird draft. But what are the rankings of the teams that won that were bad last year that are that much better from the draft? That's what I want to know.
Bad teams last year that
Yeah,
are better now.
Like a team that didn't make the playoff last year that will make the playoff this year because they drafted smartly.
Listen, I think the Dolphins are 8-8, 9-7 next year, right there.
Anybody else other than the Dolphins?
I think the Bills will win the AFC East. They did make the playoffs last year. Let me go
A little
through.
easier this year. There's no Patriots.
Yeah, a team. You know what? I'm gonna get to my losers in a second, so we'll just get to it now. The losers, I have the Packers and the Bears on my list. They're both losers in the draft and losers in real life. I hate what the Packers are doing about Aaron Rodgers. So I would say look at the Vikings to win that division. How about that?
I like that. I'm looking forward to it. I just want football. So it's exciting for me to talk about football. You know, I'm gearing up for the super contest. You know, got to get all the data in so we can get it going for super contests this year.
It's a tough year for data. We don't know how these teams are going to be affected by the pandemic that we're all going through. You know, the Saints are not having an off-season program. So like they're not even meeting or anything, but every other team in the NFL is doing Zoom meetings and going over the playbook right now. So it's like you have to have all this intel.
Well, you know, like when you watch preseason, you can tell everybody's like a little out of shape, especially when you're watching Hard Knocks and you're like, damn, those guys are kind of out of shape. How long does it usually take for people to get back in shape with training camp? Because if they're doing training camp plus preseason, and if we're not going to have, say we don't have preseason, say we don't have training camp, and we just go right into the season, we're going to have the sloppiest, most injured year of football ever because these guys are going to be coming in without being in shape. Now, some guys will definitely be in shape, but you know, the offensive line guys, like who knows? Are they actually going to be working out that hard when they're just on Zoom meetings and trying to work out at home? I don't
Probably
think
not.
so.
How are they physically working out? Like some of us have made little gyms in our areas, but otherwise, like how are people working out?
Yeah, I wanted to build a home gym, but I can't get equipment. Like by the time I got equipment, hopefully gyms will be open, but you can't get anything anywhere. So if anybody has anything, send
Our
it to us.
redhead friend built a gym in his house. It looks pretty legit. He must have spent thousands of dollars on that.
It looks good. I asked him on the price today. I don't know if he wants me to tell anybody, but
I did.
it's definitely expensive, and
Over
I
under 1,500.
over for sure.
Oh boy.
I mean, you got to in factor in shipping. Like I can barely ship a bag of dog treats for less than $10. Now imagine a
You're right.
couple. He's pretty jacked, so he's got to lift a lot of weight. So he's got to
Well,
get
our
a lot of.
Canadian friend is jacked, and I bet you his gym was less than 1,500. I wasn't as impressed with his home gym. He's got some bands and shit.
Well, we can see who comes out of this pandemic more jacked. It can be a competition just amongst us. Maybe if they're not even listening.
And I hope they are listening because we're talking about them. But also, I think they should do like a home gym off, maybe like a little
Ooh,
competition, and let the listeners vote who has a better home gym because
I would
they've
love
both
that.
been
Yeah,
investing.
they can both take pictures. That'd be really good.
Yeah,
Real quick, I just wanted to mention. I know you're talking your winners and losers. Are those over? Are we done with
I
winners and
think
losers?
they're over. It was extended during my breaking news, but yeah.
Can you just give me one more team that was so bad last year, but did like won the draft for you? Like having the Baltimore Ravens draft well, it is almost irritating, right? Because they're such a
Okay.
good team.
Okay.
So who's the
I'll give
team
you
like?
one. I'll give you one. You
Okay,
might be disappointed. The Indianapolis Colts. They had a shitty year with Andrew Luck walking away. You know what they
yeah,
did? They had a fantasy draft. They took a running back and a receiver with their first two picks. And remember, they
nice.
signed Phillip Rivers. I know we're not the big Rivers people, but he's not terrible. He's not trash yet. And you surround him with
Bring it.
playmakers. T.Y. Hilton on one side, receiver from USC, Michael Pittman on the other. They got the best running back that some would say in the whole draft. He ran for like 6,000 yards at Wisconsin. Look out for the Colts to make a
I like it.
splash. And a fantasy alert. It's never too early. Michael
Fantasy alert.
Pittman, wide receiver,
Hmm.
draft him.
So the NCAA came out and said on Wednesday that I think it was last Wednesday or this Wednesday that they're going to be able to athletes are going to be are they going to be able to profit off their likeness in video games and off-field activities finally. So this is a big move. We knew they were coming in like 2021, 2022 that they were finally going to be able to get paid. So this is hopefully going to be coming I think in 2021. But this is great for the NCAA. Like these kids will finally be able to get paid. And I'm hoping for like a lot. I want the NCAA football game back. I want all this to come back.
It's
And I want
not.
them to,
It's not coming back.
it's not
They
coming back.
decided, EA Sports decided this week, they decided that it was going to cost too much money to produce the game and pay everyone
All
in
the
the game.
kids.
So they're not going to do it. And they're trying to blame like the NCAA. Like, no, figure it out. You
I
make a lot of money.
here. Can I give you a prediction on how these kids are going to be making a lot of money?
Yeah.
If you look right now, how everything is going, I don't know if this is even a possibility to our investment friends, but I would invest heavily. And I already mentioned this like 5 years ago about esports. Invest in the companies that program the esports, Twitch, Mixer, everything like that. All these kids, guess what? They grew up on all these games. They will be playing Twitch all the time. By the way, I know this is a secret. I haven't told anybody. I have been live streaming my Call of Duty Warzone games every night online
On
on Mixer.
Twitch?
Well, it's Mixer. It's the same thing as Twitch. Same difference. I could do it on Twitch too, but I've been streaming it, just playing video games with my headset on, talking shit, and
Wow.
it's a lot of fun.
This is a
I have
secret. You didn't tell anyone this.
I didn't tell anybody. No, only Aaron knew because she could hear all the volumes of me yelling and the.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else to do. It's sports, right? It's a challenge. You do all this, so I think these kids will be doing this on their off time because they can just have Xbox in their living room and play it during downtime and make some extra money off Twitch. A lot of people make a ton of money off their Twitch channels.
How do you make money? There's advertising.
Advertisements, if you're getting 1 million people to view in on your Twitch game, you can start sponsoring, oh, look at this Waterloo water that keep me hydrated during my game.
Okay. They didn't pay for
Mhm.
this. All right. Speaking of that, I'm
Yeah.
wondering if this landmark ruling to be able to pay the athletes will be the catalyst to get football players on campus this fall to play college football. We know that there's going to be issues in hard hit areas if schools do not allow students on campus in the fall, how do you require the football players to risk their health and safety when they're not getting paid? You may have to pay them to get them into the weight room and onto the practice field.
Well, how many of these football players wouldn't show up? Because
I'm
I
not
would
saying they wouldn't show up. I'm saying it's a conflict of interest for a university to say, students, don't come to campus. It's not safe. Oh, you play football, you make us money. Oh, you go to the field right now. Go walk through campus and get on the field.
I mean, this is something they're going to have to decide. But if they don't go through with it and there is no college football, I could see college football starting up at any point in time that it's available. Like you were saying, weren't you saying last week, it could be like the spring football instead of the XFL because there's no longer XFL.
Yeah, it starts the week after the Super Bowl. That'd be sick. Another idea is they may split the season. You know, if this comes back like the flu in the winter, maybe you play September, October, you take the winter off, you resume in February, March, April. That's an option.
Now-
If that does happen, by the way, I just want to mention the NFL is talking about adding games on Saturdays if there is no college football season, which is great news. We'd get Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, NFL.
Too much football. It's too much to
Mike,
watch.
you have nowhere to go.
I have nowhere to go. But Jeremy, I think somebody might be listening to our podcast that's like in the NFL and in the NBA, because it seems like all our ideas, they're finally coming true. The NBA hopefully going to start their new season on Christmas. Maybe college football starts in the spring. We were full of ideas. So I'm hoping this new schedule pans out, because it will then be a full year of sports. It will never be that summer slump. So listen to us.
I love that. Sports Adamas here. I thought I was really excited for a second because
Yeah.
you're like, someone's listening. I thought like live on YouTube, we got like an NBA player, like Steph Curry, like just commented on our YouTube show. I thought that's what you meant. So we'll keep working on that.
Actually, yeah, people are listening. I just checked the text thread. It looks like our Canadian friend knows that we're calling out our redheaded friend. So,
well, that's good. Does he have any comments on my hair? Or what's going on?
No comments yet on the hair. We could check there's actually a thread on the actual. This is great. We've never done this. Look at this. We should be
There's a thread on the YouTube or what?
Yeah, there's a thread on the YouTube. Fidelity or E-Trade, our Canadian friend says. Wow. This is fun. All right.
That's funny. Live stream is popping. That's for sure.
Live stream is popping. All
All
right.
right. Can we do it? I got.
Yeah. No, go.
I got J-Dog Takes On. Hit it.
J-Dog Takes On.
No sponsor this week. Baha Mar is closed. We hope they're going to reinvest in the podcast when they reopen. Okay. J-Dog Takes On this week hits close to home to you, Mike. It's the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm taking them on for stealing from Americans, for stealing from folks living in LA, small businesses just like you. The LA Lakers are worth $4.4 billion, Mike, $4.4 billion. They claimed $4.5 million of small business loans, part of the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP. They claim $4.5 million. Now, I know certain small businesses located in LA that serve CBD dog treats have been declined for an SBA loan. Now, why is it okay? Don't correct me. Why is it okay that the LA Lakers, worth $4.4 billion, are approved for such a loan when they charge $261 per average ticket price, $13 per average beer, $25 just to park at the game? Why are they allowed to get this payment protection money? It is a conspiracy. Thank you very much for the music. And it pisses me off that hardworking entrepreneurs like yourself, Mike, cannot benefit when the LA Lakers, who are the opposite of a small business, can get that money.
So somebody explained it to me really well. Hopefully I don't mess it up. They said they gave it to people with more money, because if they defaulted, that would mean those businesses would go out of business, and it would cost even more money if they went into debt and all that stuff. So, and especially they have better credit, right? Like if you're a $4 billion company, you have a pretty good credit line with your bank. So a small company, if they go out of business, it's going to just be a blip on the meter of all that. So these larger companies are getting it because there was no guidelines. No one put out guidelines, and no one understands.
Well, I thought when you call it a small business, whatever it's called, that indicated small businesses only.
So I have no idea how it works. Maybe
the SBA, small business.
Well, the SBA loan. Well, there's the small business loan. Then there's a paycheck protection loan. So all these things were out there, but there's no guidelines because they just tried pushing it out there. So
Well, we
I
do know
get
the
it.
difference between right and wrong, right?
Yes, but when you're a bank and you're trying to secure money for a company, are you going to give it to the Lakers before you
Listen,
give it to
Mike,
GoPro?
airlines are burning through like $50 million of cash a day right now as their planes sit idly. The Lakers should have the balance sheet that should be able to support a pandemic, unlike a small business has the
Hey,
balance sheet to support it.
I 100% agree, but it was like 1 week we said, all right, we're going to do SBA loans. Next week, SBA loans were live. And then next week, all right, they're all done. We have no more money. It's just no one knew what was going to happen. We didn't know this was going to continue on. So I don't know. I'm obviously I would love to get the loan, but we didn't get it. And I think it's I think they're going to do another round of it. I don't know. It's very frustrating.
I
'cause
love our
look-
live listener. I love our live listener commenting right now. PPP. Okay, the Canadian did get some PPP, and he is a small business. He is a small business. We won't give him out now, but he's located in one of the great states. He's not happy that we're talking about him right now, and he didn't comment on my hair. Which, by the way, you can drop a
He
comment.
wants to dial in. I can give him a dial in. I can give him one if he wants.
Let's try it. This is happening. This is happening now. I can keep talking if you want to dial him in.
Participants. I'm going to just keep talking. I'll
talking
figure it out.
PPP. Believe it or not, I had very few stories left. The Cowboys were another team. I loved their draft. They added CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver from Oklahoma, at 17th overall. That offense is going to be sick when you think about Dak, Zeke, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and now CeeDee Lamb. Just doing a little Texas segue there for you.
You know, I hate Dak. I think they're going to be trash. I think this is just Jerry Jones having fun from his yacht, which didn't realize was a yacht until he told me last week.
Yeah, it could have been he could have drafted from like the sun deck. He could have drafted from the top, right? Give us a view of the Maldives, of Bora Bora, wherever he is. He kind of kept us in the small room there.
Really, really weird. I hope there's more news. I know that NASCAR is coming back at some point, which I don't know if we're actually going to have to care about. But if that's the only sport coming back, we might have to take up NASCAR.
That's not a sport. I won't bet on it, and we won't talk about it.
I have one other thing. It was like headlines that we didn't get to. I wanted to talk about Sonos can now play free audiobooks from your local library, which is basically every audiobook that comes out. So if you want to listen to a book and you don't want to pay for it, it's absolutely free if you have a Sonos, and you can listen to audiobooks. Why not listen to an audiobook? I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. It's
better than reading. What do you do with your eyes when you're listening to an audiobook?
So like in the morning, I'm drinking coffee, listening to an audiobook, maybe checking my email, doing a lot of casual stuff, going on a walk with the dog.
But that was my question though. Can you read and listen and absorb all at once?
Probably not. That's why I try to usually pick like easy books, but depending if you're on a walk, you can listen to it.
A walk is good. I don't leave my apartment very often anymore.
I know. We got to get a dog so you can do that. I don't think our Canadian friend's going to call in. He said, you don't want that.
You don't want that action. Okay. So thanks to him for listening to the live stream. This was a great experiment on YouTube. I think we'll do it more often since we have several listeners.
I love it. I mean, they can't hear the intro and outro, but they get the raw audio of us before and after the show. So that's great. Follow us on.
We do have a comment, by the way. I got what the fuck?
Okay.
I thought you meant Mr. Clean, not military cut. If Sam wants to shave his fucking head, he's welcome to, right? He's welcome to. I don't need any comments here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow us on Instagram at popline.co. Go to the website. Lots of good blogs up there at popline.co. Jeremy's got a blog up there. We'll definitely put an image. Whoa, look at that. Look
who just joined us. Wow.
Follow us on.
We do have a comment, by the way.
You got to turn down the audio, man. It's like an old radio show. You got to turn down the audio on the
Turn
YouTube.
it down so you can.
You guys don't want to hear me listening to you guys?
No. This is great, though, that we can just have randoms drop in.
I like that.
I'll jump in. What's up,
Nice
guys?
mustache.
Thank you. When you're in quarantine, you got to do something to entertain yourself.
That's for sure.
You look like a cowboy.
Like a cowboy?
A little bit. The mustache is going down a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I just trimmed it. I took away too much. Someone said it looked like V from Vendetta.
Yeah.
Mm,
Get some gray every now
I
and
see
then
that.
in there too.
All right, there's a loud echo.
Yeah, it's this room.
Where's your AirPods, bro?
I'm in another room. There's so many rooms in this house. I don't even know what to do with them.
Yeah, we saw a look on your Instagram. Tell us about your house. It looks like it's almost like a container store where you have different containers stacked on each other.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of shipping containers turned into a house.
It's badass.
No, it's a house. It's a normal house. But I did comment on your hair.
Oh
yeah, let's get your thoughts.
I think it looks good. And I thought it looks like with that beard that you really enjoy craft brews.
I like that. I do. And I will drink more craft brews because of that.
Good. Well, anyway, I just wanted to drop in and say what's up.
This is a cool drop in.
This
Can
is
you
great.
tell us more about the PPP?
Yeah, I mean, is it too echoey? Do you want me to move or can you hear me?
It's pretty echoey. I can hear myself.
Listen, the people are still listening at this point. God bless
I
them.
know the audience is going nuts. So let me.
Oh yeah, that's a million
Oh,
times
that's much
better right
better.
now.
All right. Well, yeah, there was guidelines, but it was set at 500 employees. So that's how people like the Lakers and other places were able to slip in. We were able to get it, but it was an absolute shit show. I just found out the other week, but they ran out of money real quick. And yeah, I mean, we found out last week that we were able to get some money, but 2.5 times your monthly payroll from the previous year. So, I mean, it helps, but it was absolute catastrophe trying to get it because they tried to roll it out in a week. And then, you know, there's some regulations, but it was just chaos, but we got it. So it helped. It's great.
I'm glad you did. You know that you are well equipped. Oh, the echo's back. You're well equipped for internet and you know what's going on. So it was hard for you. Imagine all the people who aren't as well equipped to deal with these things trying to fight for the money. So that's brutal for a lot of people.
We've heard from a lot of people who didn't get it. So it's tough. It's really tough.
But the Lakers got 4.5 mil, so they're good.
All right, let's end the show and then we can continue talking.
See you guys.
Go to offline.to, follow us there. Everything's on the website. Jeremy's blogs are up there. Good show.
I'm gonna have a craft beer.
All right, now we can talk.
Sup.
We're still live though on YouTube. Let me end YouTube.